Well, the fate of 3 Tacoma police officers charged in the death of Manny Ellis is now in the hands of the jury.
After weeks of testimony and dozens of witnesses, it's now a matter of waiting for the jury's decision. Fox 13 News reporter A.J. Janeville is outside the courtroom. So, A.J., the big question is how long we're going to have to wait for that verdict.
This incident happened more than 3 years ago. The people here in Tacoma have been waiting that long for answers. Court officials tell me it's possible we'll get those answers as early as Monday.
March 3rd, 2020. Manny Ellis dies in Tacoma Police custody. His death creates an unrest in the community, leaving many questions. In May of 2021, officers Matthew Collins, Christopher Burbank, and Timothy Rankin are charged with killing Ellis. For more than 2 years, the people of Tacoma wait for answers. Then, 2 months ago, the trial for all 3 officers finally begins.
It was the worst day of my life.
During the hearings, Ellis's family, including his mom, spoke about their heartache.
That was the night that he said, "Mom, I really want to give my life to the Lord."
There are 3 candidates to account for this death. One of them is a drug overdose, one of them is a heart issue, and the other one is asphyxiation.
Thomas Clark, the former Pierce County medical examiner who ruled Ellis's death a homicide, explained his decision on the stand.
He was restrained with handcuffs, put face down on the street.
Then, for the first time ever, we heard from the responding officers who said there was no other way to deal with the version of Ellis they met that night.
I immediately knew something was wrong. His eyes were super wide and he was like sweating profusely, and it was a cold night. And comes right at me and grabs me by my vest and picks me up and throws me backwards into the intersection.
Outside the testimonies, controversy filled the courtroom throughout the entirety of the hearings. The defense calling for dismissals several different times, and the judge stating the prosecution nearly ruined the entire trial in the last moments of the case.
If only he had been granted the dignity of being human.
And yeah, you put me in a bad position. I don't want to dismiss this case.
Those first responding officers, Matthew Collins and Christopher Burbank, have 2 separate charges they're facing. One, second-degree murder, the other, first-degree manslaughter. The second responding officer on scene, Timothy Rankin, faces a charge of first-degree manslaughter. Now, for that murder charge, it could be 10 to 18 years. That's the standard sentencing. That manslaughter charge is 6.5 to 8.5 years. That's the standard sentencing. However, it could be a max of life in prison for both of those charges. Now, as I mentioned, court officials say we could get answers as early as Monday. However, this case could continue into the next year. You can count on continued coverage. Reporting here in Tacoma, I'm A.J. Janeville, Fox 13 News.